Hi guys, this is the Peugeot 3008, and if you would recall, this car has a bit of a special significance because, well, the 3008 was my first test car after joining EvoMalaysia. All right, so yeah, you can search through my channel and watch a more in-depth review of this car. All right, that was published last year. Okay, so for this video, all right, Peugeot has given us the 3008 for a second go, and I've had this car for a couple of days, been using it as a daily driver. So I'm just going to add in a few additional observations that I didn't quite pick up, all right, from my first review. So let me start with the front end. Now, as we know, right, all right, these are the headlights, all right, and so you see this headlight has this indentation here, a very sharp indentation that cuts into the headlight assembly more than half of its height. Okay, so this is quite a challenge because you have to design the headlight with an unconventional shape. Not only that, all right, you have the sealing of the headlight, and plus the meeting of the headlight and the bumper to achieve a consistent gap. All right, this is not easy to achieve. Peugeot managed it, so pretty good on them. All right, and the result is a rather impressive looking front end. It is a very distinctive looking front end. Now, here you look here, right? This is the LED daytime running lights and position lamps, and you can see, right? Okay, the plastic here, they use the headlamp casing here to partition the light. Actually, it's just one strip of light, all right, but they create the individual elements by putting, you know, the plastic fins there to sort of like create the separate elements there. So the significance of this, we jump to the other side and see how it contrasts here. So this side, I've got the blinkers switched on, all right, and the blinkers illuminate in a sequential fashion. So for the signal lights, right, they have individual LED lamps here that illuminate out in a sequence, but whereas here it's just one long LED strip, all right, that is that is visually partitioned, all right. And yeah, so to me, I see this as a very clever touch to create a premium appearance for the car, but at a slightly lower cost. Because the other way to do it is, right, you have individual LED elements like this, like this. Not only that, then you have to have them able to illuminate in different colors. So what Peugeot has done here is they've done it very smartly, all right. They've just put this single white LED strip here and followed by several individual LEDs here. Nice thinking, clever thinking, all right. And now we come inside. Okay, there's more to show in. Oh, I show you the boot first. So as an SUV, so the 3008, okay lah, pretty useful. All right, can fit my stroller in, and I appreciate that. Okay, so you can have remote folding of the seats. Okay, so you can just pull this seat topple down, one motion, and it's a seamless floor there, so you can load long objects, no problem there. Right, this you can partition this partition here. This boot floor can be lowered to create more space, but you put it up here generally is to ensure that ensure that the floor meets with the loading lip, so that it's easier for you to load heavy items. Okay, so we come inside, right? Okay, let me just raise this back, and you can see, right, as I raise this, the seat cushion gently drops a bit to allow the seamless floor. Okay, so that's very good. And you can see there, I've got my ISOFIX seat there, and yep, usually when you have a child seat, that front area is doubles up as auxiliary storage space. Okay, so yeah, and we come to the front now. So you see here, this is the instrument cluster, right? and you rotate through the various displays, various display modes here. So this is the, just now this one minimum was a very kosong display. So all it does is it show you the speed, mileage here, that's it. It doesn't even show the fuel gauge or the temperature gauge. This is a more classic appearance. All right, and you press this button here to cycle between various trip computer functions. So you can have, earlier you have the remaining range, average fuel consumption, and then you have a trip meter showing average speed, average fuel consumption, and this and the overall distance. Okay, water, the temperature gauge there, fuel gauge is there. So actually, right, so what Peugeot has done here, this is a pretty fancy looking instrument cluster, but at its core, right, okay, the information that is shown here, all right, is these are the kind of the same, it shows you the same things as the instrument cluster you will find in a 40,000 ringgit car or 80,000 ringgit car. I appreciate that they have taken the effort to add a bit of, you know, visual drama into this, despite what is in actual fact a rather simple cluster. All right, now you come down here. Okay, this is another highlight of the cabin, I feel. Okay, I mean, we have all seen wood paneling lah, carbon fiber paneling lah, but when was the last time you saw fabric used on a dashboard? So you've got plastics here, you've got this fabric, all right, and you've got this gloss surface here. All right, so it's a good mix of materials there, and you see this surface is also glossed, so it looks properly advanced. This car, this dashboard, overall dashboard design looks thoroughly futuristic, and they have also not neglected the practicality concerns. You've got this slot here to put in your touch and go card, or well, there's good usage of storage space here. Like you can see, I've dropped my keys here, smart tag in here, phone, okay, cup holder. Hot day, excuse me for that. And oh look, my wife's handbag is in here. Okay, so inside there, this is a very, very deep storage bin. Okay, and here you can see right now the Peugeot 3008 is two-wheel drive, but they have also included programs for you to use this car on various well, less than pleasant terrain. So you can deactivate your stability control. This is normal driving mode, this is snow driving mode, this is mud driving mode, all right, this is sand mode, stability control off. So what this does is this adjusts your electronic stability program system to enable the car to cope more effectively in different terrains. Okay, and this I like this gear knob. This looks very futuristic. It looks almost like a ray gun from Star Trek, if I'm to be honest. Okay, so you pull this to go to drive, push this to go to reverse, press this to go to park, or press M to activate the pedal shifters here, which is also very nicely finished. All right, you've got a mix of plastic here, all right, and here the back part of it, this whole contact surface is metal. So the parts where your finger touches is metal, which is a nice touch. Okay, and let me see what else. Here's something I should show you: the reverse camera. Okay, now I reverse, and so yeah, so this shows me what are my surroundings, okay, using only one camera to capture. Now you have to remember that this area, this zone was the conditions of it a few minutes, a few seconds ago. If an animal or a baby or whatever wandered into this zone, all right, then it would not register. So this is the live feed, and this here, it shows the recorded image, which is to me very smart way to maximize the functionality of one camera. Now I also like the way all these switches, okay, these are shortcut switches except for this one, shortcut switches for the screen to access various different functions. Tactile feel is good, and but more importantly, I like the way, you know, these switches are molded, are crafted. They feel like almost they're crafted. So you just press it. It makes you feel special. It makes you feel like really you are flying a plane. So you can cycle through various functions here. Okay. And yep, so this activates air conditioning controls, trigger your air conditioning controls. This is your radio, which you can also use this to tune to your preferred frequency. This is neat. Okay, this is neat. All right, so revisiting this car, right now, it has given me well, the impression that the 3008 was designed with a lot of thought in mind. Yeah, this is a car that that the designers and the engineers put a lot of thought in when they fine-tune every little detail of it. You see, because underneath the mechanical and electronic architecture of this car, let's be frank, is pretty conventional. You have a proven 1.6 liter turbo engine, 6-speed automatic transmission, front wheel drive, torsion beam rear suspension. All right, you've got electronic stability control, and you've got a pretty standard electronic architecture that, you know, includes dual zone climate control, all your phone connectivities, trip computer, and all that. These are things that most cars in its price range or even below already offer. But where the 3008 has done better than everybody else is that they have taken the effort to up the presentation of all these conventional elements into something that successfully makes you feel special sitting inside it. I mean, honestly speaking, from a design standpoint, there is no other dashboard in the market that beats this for dramatic flair. None. I mean, who else uses fabric on the dashboard, for God's sake, right? So in terms of styling, right, I would say the 3008 is right up there amongst the segment's best looking cars. All right, and I think the design, where the design is concerned, the dashboard really seals it for me. I mean, you can say that cars like the Proton X70, the Mazda CX-5, these two cars also boast very well-built interiors, but designed to this level of flair, nah, neither of them are at this kind of shows the kind of effort that Peugeot has obviously put into this car. All right, a very simple encapsulation of what Peugeot has done. The reverse camera, there's only one camera, but they are able to squeeze that image, all right, the recordings of the camera, to form a 360-degree view of the car that, well, you miss the front portion, but I would say it looks, I would say the image actually looks better and more comprehensible than some 360-degree cameras in the market. Right? So if I can summarize this car, Peugeot could have easily gotten away with a simple, no-nonsense SUV. All right, because simply put, they have already got the right mechanical materials for this car. This car is already sitting on fundamentals that will ensure that there is demand already. It is a C-segment mid-sized SUV, front-wheel drive, right sized, and in that 150 price bracket, there will be no shortage of takers for this car. All right, even if they'd settled for something simple, but they didn't. They have chosen the harder way. You know, they try to put in as much flair as they can in order to spice up the car's looks and presentation. Despite the obvious focus on styling and on design, they have also not neglected the practical aspects of this car. So yeah, I mean, if you compare this with the previous 3008, all right, they have switched this to a more conventional SUV body design, all right, that as we all know is it's just more space efficient. All right, you got good boot space, and you have got good interior storage solutions. I mean, look at this whole center console is, I mean, considering that the kind of styling requirements that they have placed, I think they have done very, very well to carve out this a storage tray here, this one here, two cup holders here, and this large center console storage box without compromising the aesthetics of the interior. I mean we have seen, right, some cars here, yes, very practical, but it's just like, you know, a slab of plastic with holes all over it. No, this one, they have made it impressively practical, yet at the same time it still looks decent, looks presentable. Now, if there's one thing to be said about this car, is that the Peugeot 3008 competes in a growing segment. This is a segment that actually is very difficult to get wrong, right? You once you already have the right sizing and price, you have a product that is very, very likely to sell. And Peugeot has got, to where I'm concerned, Peugeot has gotten the sizing of this car and the pricing of this car right. So from that point, they could have easily settled for a very ordinary, very conventional design. They could have played it safe, but they didn't. They inject all these tiny efforts to make something special out of rather conventional ingredients. There are a lot of car makers that, you know, they have a certain level of capability, but for some products they will throttle down their output. But with the 3008, Peugeot has endeavored to overreach beyond the sum of these cars' parts.